Good afternoon from Rockville, Kentucky. Welcome to Cars and Cows. Cars and Cows, that's right. This is a home of Roads Fabrications in the Dole family farm, and got a lot of cool stories I'm wanting to tell on my videos. I'm new. This is a brand new channel, and Roads Fabrications. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about our family cattle farmer here. It's a small farm, but Roads Fabrications. A lot of you guys and gals out there know us already. You probably met us at the Tri-Five Nationals, or and come by and bought our parts, or bought T-shirts, or just come by and just say hi and get a bottle of water. But some of you guys and gals have ordered stuff from us online and through our different dealers that we have. And we Backroads Fabrications, we make custom aluminum parts and accessories for the Tri-Five Chevrolets. I know about everybody in the car and hot rod culture knows what a Tri-Five Chevrolet is, but for those of you that don't, a Tri-Five Chevrolet is a 1955, 56, and 57 Chevrolet, aka Tri-Five Chevrolet. And that being said, we we make custom aluminum parts. We bought this business 14 years ago from a gentleman and his wife, Pete Osbrooks, and his former wife Ann. He started the business probably 25, 26 years ago. Had great success with it, and up until the time decided they wanted to retire, then Karen and me, we decided we wanted to try it, and we've done pretty good with it. We've been well blessed. I think the biggest blessing we've got out of it though is all the people we've met and all the friends we've made along the way. We've really met some really super people, and we're blessed with that. And Doyle Family Farm, we primarily raise Black Angus beef. We sell raised Black Angus beef. We've got a few other cows that aren't black, but that's what we primarily do. We're not a big farm. We've only got a few, but it's not a big farm we live on. I wish we could live on a bigger farm, but it just hasn't happened yet. But my video basically is going to be about basically talking about these old hot rods. I've got this car. I've named my cars. This is old Backroads Betty. This is our '56 four-door wagon that I guess you could call it our flagship car that we do with our business. And then I've also got a '55 Chevrolet two-door post. Got sitting up there at the shop. I'm getting ready to start working on soon, I hope. And I've also got a '41 Chevrolet truck that I started on a long time ago. So my videos are going to include a lot of truck stuff too. And also have my son. He's really big into the Dodge Cummins diesels. He drag races. He's got one he drag races, and no dually. And gonna be talking a lot about that also. A lot about the diesel guys. But my videos, this is my first one, so I'm new. I'm not. This ain't gonna be perfect. I don't guess I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of editing, but my poor wife, we're trying to learn all this stuff. We're just getting started, but got a lot of cool guys that I've been friends with for years. Most of them are retired, and they're just all car guys. They're just so knowledgeable on old hot rods, drag cars, and it's funny. We live right outside of Bowling Green, which is home of Holley Carburetor. And I don't know what year Holley opened here, but it's been here for years. I do know that. And most of the guys that I'm buddies with, they're retired from Holley. There's one or two that still work there actually. One guy, he even retired and went back. But I've got one person that I want to talk about. I'm going to go interview here, and probably on either my next video or up and coming video with somebody that they started at Holley right out of high school. It was the only job that they ever had. Worked there for 43 years, and that person is my mom. Yeah, she started right out of high school and worked there for 43 years and retired there. And she's got some interesting stories, I'm sure, to tell about Holley. But one of the ironic things is her first car was a '57 four-door Bel Air Chevrolet. So she's dug up some pictures for me. We're going to show some pictures of her old '57 and talk about it a little bit. It's long gone now. I do know that parts of it are still on an existing car, Uh, she sold it to a friend of mine. His dad, he was building a two-door car, and he still got it. His dad's done passed away and gone now, but my buddy still got his dad's old 57 that they built, and they came and bought the old four-door car and took it home and got a lot of parts off of it, I think, to build his car with. So good to know that parts of it are still out there. But like I said, I got so many guys that I've already talked to, and they said I can come interview them, talk to them about their old cars. They got some really nice cars. I mean, really cool hot rods, and some of them are steel car builders. And got one guy I want to talk to. It happens to be my wife's cousin, and his dad, Elmo Guy. I'm sure a lot of you guys and gals. I'm gonna talk about the gals too, because guys, you know, a lot of women out here, girls out here, they know as much, or if not more, about these old hot rods and cars than we do. I know they know there's a lot of them out there know a lot more than I do, that's for sure. But I want to go talk to this buddy of mine. He's my wife's cousin. It's Elmo's son, T. I haven't talked to him yet, but he's got a lot of interesting stories to tell. And like I said, I've already talked to a bunch of these guys, and they've said most certainly come talk to them, sit down and talk to them about their cars, about all the stuff they used to do growing up, you know, in the hot rod world. Um, Growing up here in Bowling Green, I'm 62 years old, and I was born in '63, and I grew up in what I consider the cool era of muscle cars and hot rods, man. Back when I was a kid, my cousins, they lived this is my granddaddy's old farm, by the way, we live on. And my cousins lived right down the road, all three boys, and they were older than me. I always got to run around with older guys. I guess I don't know if that's good or bad. But on the weekends, I come down here and either stay with them or I'd stay with my granddad. But on Friday, Saturday night, I'd go running around with them. And we had this cruising place that was a shopping center called Grant's back then, and everybody cruised the Grant's parking lot and run up and down the bypass. They'd cruise through the old Jerry's drive through or what drive in, and then they'd hit the bypass and maybe run down to Burger Chef, cruise through Burger Chef, and come back and then cruise back through Grant some more. The sun's going down right now, by the way. This is my first video, so I don't know if I'm doing everything right or wrong, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, I remember getting to go with them on Friday, Saturday nights, man. Everybody had a hot rod. It seemed like all the guys, they had the old Camaros. One guy, Frankie, I'm not gonna say his last name, but he had a V8 Vega, and I think there might have been a couple of V8 Vegas running around back at that time, maybe. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I grew up in a really neat time where this day and time you just don't see it much, at least not around here. I know you go to bigger cities and stuff; they still have a lot of cruising going on. And we do have a cruise in on Tuesday nights during the spring, summer, and fall. It's it's pretty neat. They had a lot of nice cars come to that. It's a benefit a friend of mine puts on. I'm gonna be talking with him some. I'm not really going to talk a lot of names right now or anything. I've got a lot to talk about on working on. I still got a lot to do to old Betty here. She's kind of patinaed. I've got most of her done, but I don't have all of her done yet. I was planning on shooting a lot of video on her, the things I still need to do to her. Like I said, I got that old '55 Chevrolet. I named her Swap Meet Sally. I've been collecting parts for about 2 years for that car, and most of it was just swap meet parts. All the doors, I got two doors I bought off a buddy of mine, Big Mike, up in Shepherdsville. I think they came off a '57. He gave me a back glass out of a '55. I bought a trunk lid from another buddy. I've got some bumpers. I bought a hood off another buddy of mine that lives in Memphis. We got friends all over, man. It's got these old Tri-Five cars. Like I said, we set up at the Tri-Five Nationals. We've been out there to that every year since it started. And if you haven't been to it, you need to come. It's a show well worth coming to, whether you like just Tri-Five cars or not. It's great drag racing. Jeff Lutz, he comes about every year and puts on a show with his '57 drag car. Great family. We love them to death. Been friends with them for a long time. Super nice people. Um, but got my '41 truck also. Like I said, I started on that thing a long time ago, and it just kind of went on the back burner, and I haven't been doing much to it over the past several years because I got into these old Chevrolet cars on account of our business. But the stories that these guys, these buddy of mine, I mean, on Friday morning, about every Friday morning, we all meet. I don't always get to go because I work third shift at a factory and I have to work overtime sometimes, and I don't get off in time to go meet breakfast on Friday mornings. But it's a little diner up the road here called Melissa's Home Cooking Cafe. Super good food. But on about every Friday morning, there's sometimes anywhere from at least 12. Sometimes we've had as many as 25 guys there. And like I said, and I'm 62 and I'm the youngest one that shows up, believe it or not. All these guys are older than me. They're all retired. And I walk in that door and I look at that table and I just think, man, all the knowledge, sitting there at that table, all them guys, all the stuff they've done all these years. And um, it's just really cool. They're just really great bunch of guys. And but I like I said, some of them's already told me, yeah, I can come to their shop and we'll talk about their cars and talk about old stories. And another thing, I'm an ex-truck driver. I drove truck for 30 years, I guess. I was in the freight business for 23 years, and I, I was in the freight business. Mostly we drove okay trucks. Most of them were junk. I've drove a lot of junk, but I've also been fortunate enough when I would get off work from the freight company in the evenings. A real good friend of mine, him and his dad and his son were great big grain farmers. And I'd leave there, and and their farm basically was just right down the road. I'd go over there, man, jump in a tractor or a bulldozer or a truck. Mostly I drove a truck for them, and they had some nice trucks. They run all Peterbilts. Well, they do now. Back then, back then they had a couple old junks they started out with, but they were good old trucks too. Had an old white Freightliner. When's the last time you saw a cab over a white Freightliner? But but now they run it all big hood Pete's and really nice trucks. His dad's dead, just like my dad, dead and gone. And my dad went. I got my dad a job with him too, hauling grain for him full time until he got sick and passed away. But his son is with him now, and they're running full blast. I'm telling you, they're big time. And but that working for him offered me the opportunity to do what I also have a great passion for, and that's running equipment. I love running big equipment. They had some of the back then. They were basically Case IH guys, but they got some John Deeres in the mix. Back then they run mostly John Deere combines. Now they run mostly, I think, all Case IH. And of course now everything's on tracks. But they run some of the big, back then they ran some of the big stuff that John Deere and Case IH had to offer. They run John Deere's too. But but it offered me like I said, the opportunity to run equipment. And they had Caterpillar D6 dozer, and it had a Cat 320 track hoe or excavator. I call it a hoe, but that's probably the most enjoyable piece of equipment I ever sat on, man. Running track hoe, I love doing that. That's just enjoyable work running a track hoe, and it's a lot of fun running dozer too, but not near as much fun, near as enjoyable as running a track hoe. But anyway, that's one of my passions, and I'll be talking about some of that stuff. But yeah, I just want to introduce myself and I don't even think I've told you my name yet, but my name is Joel, and it's Joel Dole, Doyel. Joel Dole, that's right. Yeah, try going through grade school and junior high with that name. But as they say, what don't kill you makes you tougher. I guess that's true. But ours, it's funny. Everybody misspells our name, and I've always been told that our version of Dole, Doyel, is the original spelling of Dole. That may or may not be true. I don't know. That's just what everybody in my family and my dad and my uncles always used to tell me. But and I looked it up at work the other night. Like I said, I work third shift at a local factory. I run a big tow motor, and I got a lot of time to think when I'm driving at night, and so one night on my break, I just thought, well, I'm just going to Google my name, and I Googled Doyle, and it actually there's like 4 different spellings of it. Of course, it's an Irish name. We're originally from Ireland. That's where we're from, and that's where we come from. But there's like four different spellings of Dole. There's one that's even an O Dole, starts with an O. Then there's a Doyil, a Doyel, and a Doyle. And it don't say which one's the first one. Which one was original. It don't really say. So who knows? But I do know they misspell our name all the time. But it's okay. But sun's going down. Like I said, this is my very first video. I don't even know if the cows are still over or not. Oh yeah, they're still over. I guess you can see them on video. But we just run a few old Black Angus mamas, and my daughter's got a red and white cow, and an old I guess she's not really a baldy, but she's black with white face. And we just got us a brand new Black Angus bull. He's still a little young, but I think he's going to be all right come springtime. But we just got him, buddy of mine and his son brought him to me here the other day. And I look forward to sharing a lot of my life's experiences. I've got a lot of neat stories to tell. Like I said, I'm an old truck driver, and it's what I used to do. That was one of my passions for years. So I just finally kind of got tired of it, and it got to be what just really wasn't fun anymore. And so I got me a job working in a factory. That way, all I got to do is worry about getting there and getting home. I ain't got to worry about being out on the road in bad weather and all that kind of stuff. And offers me maybe a little more time here on the farm and doing our back roads business thing. And some of my videos I plan on, we're going to be showing how we do things, how we package our parts, and be showing a lot of our parts, our t-shirts. We do have t-shirts. We've got my wife's got visors, I think, like the golf visors you wear, or tennis visors, or whatever they are. And I got some new ideas coming up for some new t-shirts we'll be offering. And I say a lot. I know I do a lot of editing, I guess, or at least my wife is. I know nothing about computers, and God bless my wife. I've drug her into doing all this. So pray for her. I was an old truck driver, and I used to run Nashville a whole lot. And there's two old guys. My dad hauled gas, by the way. He was a truck driver too. That's all my dad ever done was run. He worked construction or drove a truck. And one of his last jobs before, matter of fact, he retired from hauling gas. And my buddy, I was hauling grain for them while I was working at Yellow Freight. And man, I'd get off I'd get off work at night, and like I said, go help them for a while. Then I'd load corn when they had a contract with a place down the road that was getting 1 to 2 loads of corn every day. And I'd get up early in the mornings, man. I'd go load corn. I was working second shift at Yellow at that time. And I'd go load corn and haul. And if I had to haul that second load, sometimes it really pushed me, to get back to my job at Yellow Freight on time. There's been a time or two I had to drive the grain truck, hopper bottom to Yellow Freight and park it on the back lot, and then drive it on home at night. But my dad had retired, and I asked him one day. I said, "You wouldn't want to haul grain till they could find a full-time truck driver, because it was wearing me out. I wasn't getting no sleep." He said, "Yeah, I guess I'll give it a try." So 11 years later, he finally got sick with cancer and had to give it up. But they bought him 2 new Peterbilts while he was there, and so he enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun working for that buddy of mine, and him and his dad and his son. But anyway, like I said, I'm an old truck driver, and I used to run Nashville all the time. And there was there's 2 old boys that hauled gas, and one of them's name was Marijuana Joe. And he got that name because he tried growing some marijuana one time. He's dead and gone now. Poor old Joe. He's a good dude, but he got caught and spent some time in the pokey, and so they nicknamed him Marijuana Joe. So that's what he went by on the radio. But another old boy that he run with, they both worked for the same company. His name was Always Late. And anyway, me and Always Late, we'd meet each other on the road. He might be heading back down Nashville, get a load of gas, and I'd be heading back in for the night or the evening, get ready to go home. But we'd talk as long as we could on the CBs. Back then, everybody had CBs. There wasn't no cell phones. And right before he'd get out of radio range, he'd always say, "Well, may the good Lord be with you and yours, and I'll catch you later, or I'm back out, or I'm always late and I'm back out," or something like that. So anyway, I'm gonna cut it off, and hope you enjoy what I've got to offer. And just be sure to like and comment and subscribe. And like I said, the good Lord be with you and yours. And I'm back out.